All right, let's talk fantasy shenanigans. Dual sickle staff or scythe staff or whatever you want to call it tends to be like this, one forward and one curving back. I don't like that, I can tell you that right now. I would much rather have both facing forward for the simple reason that if I deploy the point of the sickle, which also allows me to hook and control, guess what I'm doing with the other one? I'm pointing it at myself. If I'm mindful of it, it doesn't have to be a problem, but there are situations where I can kind of tap myself on the elbow here, which is not great, but I guess you could argue it's a skill issue. Either way, so there are some nice things you could do about this. I said, for one, hook and control, right? The only problem is there are plenty of polearms in history that do this kind of thing. So you have one hook and you have a point. In other words, what you can do is hook thrust. That doesn't work here. And worse, look what happens with the other one. If I go hook thrust, I'm jamming this right in my own armpit, which is kind of dumb. So I would have to do something different. I would have to hook and then slice, come in, kind of push past kind of the neck, try to slice that way, assuming this is sharpened here. Or I guess this and then come in this way, but then again, same problem. This is why I would like this to be curved the other way. Or I could hold it this way and displace that way. I can still hook here, so that still works. And then the only problem is this takes a long time. Like, particularly against a sword, if I hook this and then I try to come all around, that's not happening. Here, I might be able to hook it and then come in under here. Right, that might work. Again, might, or he might disengage and stab me. Single-handed sword is a different story. I could, beat and then maybe even hook, that kind of thing. Or the other way around for that matter, beat, come down, or anything like that really. That would work reasonably well, except this is awfully nimble. So if I try to beat it, he might just disengage. Oh no, not so good, right? But of course, what I can do is just kind of snipe. So I could just kind of try to create an angle. If I step over here and try to displace and try to get him like this, maybe. Now he knows how to defend against that, so it's not gonna work that way. Unless perhaps I feint and then try to get in here. Now I can pull it and then I might be able to slice or something, even though, again, if you're facing a experienced swordsman, not ideal. But I do have the leverage, I do have the reach, so I might be able to do something with that, right? While I was doing this, I felt that I tapped myself again in the upper arm. So this is no bueno. Perhaps if I hold it all the way down here, I might avoid that. No, I would not. This way. If I shorten my reach, then I can do it. So this would work. At which point I'm almost using it like a falx because I'm pretty much ignoring that point, or that end rather. Feint high, boom. Even if he defends or tries to, this might still get him in the leg. I feel like you might have to displace fairly aggressively, because if you keep it in close, it might, exactly. That's exactly the right way to do it, because if you just displace it without doing that, then I might get you here. Like kind of get the point in and hook the hand. Even then I might still be able to, maybe. This is generally pretty useful. The only problem is, once again, there are polearms that do exactly this, but better, because they have a spike here, a top spike, etc. There's a lot of things that you can do way better than this. This is quite a good idea, because this way I can't hook over top and pull. So I would have to try to hook it this way, but see what happens. I'm opening myself right up. I'm not sure I would even really want to go for the shield. I would rather content with the sword. Maybe try to push it, but then what am I going to do? This is not helpful, right? So I would probably be better off attacking the legs, this kind of thing. Just kind of snipe it quickly. Hopefully I get him before he has time to defend. That can work, again, with any polearm. The problem is just that you have two, and One thing you also have to consider, counterweighting, this is not really desirable. Yes, it'll move faster, but it won't hit as authoritatively as it otherwise would. There's a reason why polearms are distributed the way they are, because this way you can really hack and displace and do a lot of things more forcefully. Then like if you hold it this way, I might be able to hook it down, and now I have something here, right? But it might stab me at the same time. But that's kind of the nitty-gritty of fighting with polearm versus sword and shield. That applies one way or another. Do you have any particular ideas on how you would use this if you had to? That's a more appropriate combination.
Yeah. I would try to harass as much as I could. The idea to go down to the leg.
Yep, that's good.
I would also try to push in front, get between sword and shield, and then open and across. So I would probably come up here and down there. The other option, this as well, I would just see that come here and slice.
That's good, yeah.
Yeah, I just come right down there, bang. And I'm just looking to just destroy all of that, right? Especially if there's nothing there. I wouldn't try to hook or play because you can disengage. So this is one of those cases where, like I talked about, with the obvious trap would be to try to deal with this. Yeah. Right? That's the trap. So if I go for this engages there, bang, all that stuff. So I have to look and see, okay, how best can I separate the weapons, or how best can I avoid the weapons? So I might step off and slice like angle. That, or I might come and I might constantly be switching. So when you step back, now I come down and here and then come up.
And this is pretty easy to do. Like even if I technically parry it here, you might still just be able to slip right past it and hook the leg anyway. If I get this, boom, you can just come, you can just double it up, and then come this, you just have to worry about this.
Yes.
So, just, as if that wasn't a big deal.
So the other thing I would do too, to kind of avoid it eating into me, now be really long. Yeah. Right? Really long. So I'm constantly switching between. This is kind of like where you're getting this weird dual weapon staff thing. So I'm just constantly switching. Switching target here. Yep. Up. Switch target. Back. Bang. See, I'm coming around. Maybe try to push. Arm is open. Right? So, and I'm just going to be moving. Turn. Swipe, cut, down, switch over, right, and then coming up, that kind of thing. Because the swordsman isn't going to stay there and let me do nothing, or do everything to them. They're going to try to deny all that stuff. See this being really, really effective is against a shield that's got a strap around the neck.
Yeah, if I actually use the geese strap.
The geese strap, right, if you use that.
That's bad.
Right, and now it's just
slice the throat with the false edge.
If I catch this side.
Yep, that opens me right up.
Wang, wang.
This is way worse with the gear strap. If I take it off, it's still bad. Not quite as much, because then you're not controlling my neck. Yes. Like, this is still not good for me, but at least you're not pulling my entire body around.
My entire body, right? If I pull.
Yep, that in particular is really bad, because I can't really do much about it. In this direction, it's not as bad. Like, yes, it opens me up, but in this direction, it's just, you can actually hook the hand, which is bad.
Just tear all that out.
Yep. Yeah, right. This way, I can actually control it potentially.
Yeah, right. Keeping it up there gives you
this way I can.
And it keeps the top from being.
But then, if you if you put it up again, right, and I pull here. Yeah. Right. That's. Again, this is why, like you said, there's bill hooks and there's different things to give you this, right? Yeah. So,
yep, this is very effective.
Right, and then
also because it's a fairly subtle movement that you do. Like, it may take me a moment to realize that's what you're doing, and I'm already like, oh crap, and this can really pull me off, off balance. If you pull that way, I can resist that, and then I can thrust this way. You have to open me up the other way. because I can't really resist that. Yeah, this way is okay, but I feel like I can,
Bang.
yeah.
It's just a moment.
The main thing is you can get the hand
Get the
and really
hand,
slice it.
come right over top.
But if you hook it from this side, I don't even know
side.
if there's anything I can do about it. No,
Right, and if
this
I cut
is
underneath here,
right open. This is bad.
If I try to cut you, and your shield is up here, so put the shield up here, right?
That's not going to do anything.
Does nothing, right?
I can just ignore that and I can cut to your hand meanwhile.
So my chances of getting to you are trying to hit past this, right?
Yeah, this could work.
So as I'm here, I step off and I swing right through here.
Even if I have my sword here, it doesn't help me. It just goes right through.
So I'm here, just
I would have to do this.
right. And when I see that, turn up.
Exactly.
I wouldn't try to hook.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
A nice
It's a lot more effective.
design.
Uh-oh. I just realized you haven't had the microphone on the entire time.
If I have someone who's putting the right, so here, I can, right? You're not covering.
Yeah, that's the main concern because this is all open when you hold it that way.
Yeah, I'd have to come down, but I
Come
can't
down.
see that really.
Right.
When you come in from that flank, I can't really see it. Right.
And now,
Oh, you hooked the geese strap for a
got-
moment.
yeah.
Interesting.
so the thing is too is like, from here I can.
Yeah. You'd want that false edge of
Yeah.
these to be sharp, because otherwise it's just useless.
Yeah.
You need something on the back.
I'm really seeing the limitation of not having a top spike or blade there because there's so many situations where you could just thrust
We could just-
and it just doesn't work that way. The best you can do is like a push slice, which is not that good.
If you had just a spike on the end of this,
Yes, good point.
right? You just
be
have
better with a spike.
spike, and then I come down with this side, and then I'm doing all of this, right?
Yep.
Right? And this is the one that you won't be able to see, right?
Yeah,
So
'cause
here,
I'm up here.
right?
Yep,
Right?
That
And-
comes right in my blind spot.
Right?
Yep.
And I just hook that and then secure everything there, and then come. Now there's one I'm thinking of, not legal, but if I come
Oh,
right there, so straight up through, and then then yeah,
so really what I keep finding over and over again is those mirrored weapons where you have the same thing on each side is bad. Or at least worse than just having one tool here and another tool there. Usually just a butt spike makes
Yep.
more sense. It's just, you don't really get any benefit from mirroring it like that.
I might almost just want to get rid of this altogether.
Yeah, I agree.
Just
have one end.
Just have one.
Almost
Right.
like, a war scythe
Yeah. just
or a hook, almost like actual weapons.
Yeah. The boring conventional thing is actually practical. Who would have thought?
I can see like if you're in formation and you have like one thing that you do or you've been trained to do for like months, it's just
Hook and pull.
Yeah.
Yeah.
eviscerate.
I could see that, yeah.
And then it works together in the fact that as this person is going down because of the pain that they're in, right there. So it's like swoop, doom.
In which case, I would still want a different blade here. I
Yes.
want a chopping blade here
Yeah.
rather than that, and then
Yeah.
have the hook on the other end.
If you have a halberd end, put it here.
halberd on
Keep
one end.
this here.
Yeah.
And then we just shoot
The bull
another video
chopper.
where it's like the supreme halberd,
Yeah.
and it's just like, what's the supreme halberd? This. Yeah. Right.
The emasculating halberd.
If I grab here and I put that, and now I'm just with the halberd, just
Yeah.
and then
Yeah.
right.
It's almost onto something, but not quite.
Not quite.
Anyway, thanks guys.
No worries.
Hope you liked it, folks. Thanks for watching.